I'd like to give a shout out to our newest sponsor, Fog King Sanitizing and Disinfecting. Do you have a positive COVID-19 case at your workplace or residence? Need some cleaners to come in and blast the shit out of their area? These are the guys to do it. So go to fogkings.ca and get yourself a quote, reach out, and they'll be back to you in no time. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my sponsor, Record Countertops. They deal in custom countertops in quartz, corian, magonite, laminate, and butcher block. They also have custom kitchen cabinetry, closets, laundry rooms, and millwork. They're family owned and operated for 18 years, knowledgeable and highly experienced staff, and friendly customer service. Head on over to 1069 Clark Road. Check out their showroom today.
Well, it's funny when I reach out the king and I said, listen, I don't want to bother you. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no bother, none at all.
I told him,
and he's that guy, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, whatever you need. And so first thing, he said, whatever you need. He says, you want to come down? We'll do tests. We'll do this.
Yeah.
And he goes, with everything going on, how about I'll send you the test. You'll do it. He said, I'll check it. And then the day of the event, he says, you have a live stream. I'll monitor you. I'll make sure you're good.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean,
okay. You should have talked him into doing it with you.
Well,
because he's on beast mode right now.
Yeah. Oh, I saw him. He's on
beast mode.
But I think it was just hard for him to. And oddly enough, the event happens on into Good Friday, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the big thing is people are like, why are you picking Good Friday? I said, I didn't. It's World Autism Awareness Day. That's just the date.
That's the day.
Like it's. Yeah. I didn't pick it. Like it picked itself.
Are we rolling? We're going. Okay, listen, I'm going to introduce you, and we'll dive right into this.
Yeah,
welcome to Studio 88. Today, my special guest, Adam McEachern. We've been on a nice little layoff, and I'm really happy to be back with the lockdowns and everything. And how long has it been? We're on season 3. We're calling it season 3. That's what we're doing. And we're starting with Adam. Now, I know a lot of the fighters in the community know you because you're the man who shells out of his pocket all the time, putting T-shirts on guys. Adam from Martial Law Clothing, and funny enough is that's how I had you in my phone because I couldn't pronounce your last name because I'm a meathead. But ultimately, how I met you was back in 2014 when I first started doing professional events. Adam was a guy who has a company called Martial Law Clothing. What's the website for that?
It's martiallawclothing.com.
Martiallawclothing.com. Check it out if you can. He's always done. If you've been to my events, there's a very good chance you've seen him at a booth with a hat on, with a star, and slinging T-shirts. And you see the fighters have them on their backs. He sponsors a lot of the fighters. So the fight community is grateful for you because you're a big supporter and you're there to try to develop a brand. But then I noticed one day online, and this is kind of why I brought you in to talk to you, is Autism Awareness Day, April 2nd, 2021.
Yeah.
You are a madman, my friend, because what you're doing here is 5,100 air squats, 3,400 push-ups, 1,700 chin-ups, a 34-mile run for one good cause, and that's
Autism Awareness.
Autism Awareness.
Raise some money for Kerry's Place Autism Services.
Okay. Why? What was going through your head when you said, you know what, I'm going to do something that's going to kill me? So you have 24 hours to do this. Okay. I just think, I
hope it doesn't.
I admire you for this because this is insane. Because I look at it and I go, holy 50, you do 20 prisoner squats in your bedroom and you feel it.
Yeah, it's taken, I've been going at this since last May. So about 11 months.
So you're training for this every single day?
Pretty much.
How does this work?
So, the training has been at least, so the workout, I'll go back how I came up with these numbers, just my son, my oldest son, Caleb, he's 7, he's on the autism spectrum. He was diagnosed when he was 3.5. So we've been learning about it and trying to figure out his world and for him. So one of the main places that we work with is Kerry's Place, and they go out of their way to try and help kids and young adults and families deal with people living with autism and helping them, give them coping skills and practices to help their world make sense. So when I was learning about autism, I mean, some of the shocking things is that, one out of every 66 children in Canada will fall on the spectrum somewhere. A third of autistic people are nonverbal. A third will have intellectual disabilities. And up to 50,000 children, when they leave high school, they won't have any more funding and services. So, and it's something it's not curable. It's something that they have to figure out how to live with and how families have to live with. So, Kerry's Place is one of those places that helps out.
Mm-hmm.
So, and figuring out my son and figuring out how his world looks to him,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's a great kid, and do anything for him. And we had an opportunity to meet a lot of families that also have children on the spectrum and how they deal with it, and trying to figure out better ways to do things. So,
Can you explain autism to people in a sense? How was it explained to you, for example?
So the doctor that diagnosed my son, he gave me a real. He dumbed it down, I think, for me, because, like I said, I am a knuckle dragger, so I don't. I need things simple. So basically, what he said is, how most. I hate to use the word normal or not normal, but how most people's brains works is, if I gave you a task, you could go do that task, whatever it is. It's simple, like picking up a loaf of bread, that you could go do that, and you wouldn't have to worry about it, right? You could filter what's important, what's not, and just get the task done. Whereas somebody on the spectrum, they have to process all the stimuluses around that, and they don't necessarily know what they can rule out. So when you give them that task, they have to think about 10,000 other things to get that task done. So it's quite exhausting. And when you see somebody that's on the spectrum that is having a crisis moment or a meltdown moment, it's simply because they've become overstimulated by everything that's going on, whether it be sights, smells, sounds, feel, touch, or just the volume of information around them. And it's a lot, and from the outside world, a lot of people will see people that are having these crises, and they're like, oh, they're a brat, or they're acting out, or they're whatever. And it's truly not that. It's something completely different, where their whole world is set on fire, and they're trying to figure out how to put those fires out. The incredible upside, is all these people are very, very special, and they have some amazing gifts. A lot of them, my son in particular, he has this memory that is ridiculous. Like, he's 7, he's been reading words since before he knew what words were. Just by memorizing books, we would read to him, and he would memorize the books, and he would read the books back to me without knowing what words were. And he would read page by page by page. I still have a video on my phone of when he was, I think, about 4.
Yeah.
And he was reading, and I was just turning the page, and then I'd skip a page. He's like, "No, Dad, you missed a page, and it says this, this, and this, and has this." And this. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's awe-inspiring, right? And so, because he becomes so latched onto things. How this came about, this event. One day I was downstairs training, as I do. I like to train quite often. And I was doing one of my favorite workouts. It's a CrossFit workout. Not that I'm a CrossFit guy. Called the Murph. So anybody in the fitness world might know what it is. So it's basically a mile of running, followed by 300 air squats, 200 push-ups, 100 chin-ups, and then another mile of running. It's named after. It's called a hero workout. It's named after a deceased Navy SEAL, Mike Murphy.
Okay.
So if you ever seen Lone Survivor,
Yep.
Mike Murphy was the lieutenant.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So anyway, so I'm in the middle of this, and my son is really taken with Terry Fox. So in kindergarten, he's shown a video of Terry Fox, and he's convinced in his own mind that anybody running anywhere at any time for any reason is running for Terry Fox. No, running for Terry Fox.
Running for Terry Fox.
So he thinks Terry Fox is amazing, and I'm awesome with that. So one day I'm in the basement, he's down there with me, and all of a sudden we're having a conversation. Like his mind was working, and he started asking questions. I didn't even realize we're having a conversation. So he asked me, he says, "Hey, so was Terry Fox alone, Dad? Was Terry Fox alone?" And it took me a few minutes to kind of figure out what he meant. And I said, "You mean when he was running, pal?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, he had some people with him, but a lot of times he was alone. Like he was on the road by himself." And he goes, I look really hard. I said, yeah. He was doing what with one leg what most people wouldn't do with two, and he was doing it every day because it was really worthwhile for him, right? And then he sat there and he said, well, did it hurt? And I said, you know what, pal? I said, it did. I said, I wasn't there with Terry. I said, but ultimately it made him sick again, and you know that he died. And I said, but yeah, it hurt, and ultimately it led to his last question. He says, well, why? Why would he do that if it was hard and it hurt and he was alone? And I said, because he knew that everything that he was doing was going to make a difference in somebody else's life, and he needed to do something grand to get his message across. And they said he did that. He's helped millions and millions and millions of people. And he looked at me and says, so Terry Fox is a hero, right, Dad? I'm like, yeah. Terry Fox is probably one of the biggest Canadian heroes, if not ever. He was like, you, Dad, you're a hero. And the kid got me. It just I had to stop what I was doing. So, and that's how his mind works. And I was at work later on that day, and I was with a partner, and we were sitting there passing the time on a call that we were on, and we were kind of stuck on. And the partner I was with, she goes, oh, somebody set a unofficial Murph record for how many rotations of the Murph workout had been done in 24 hours. It was a 24-year-old guy down in the States, and he'd done it like 16 times. We got talking. I said, I tell you what, I can do it 17 times.
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, but you're old. I said, yeah, old man strength. I said, I'll do it 17 times. I said, figure what is that? And we figured out what the numbers were. That's where the numbers come from. So the numbers on the back of the shirt that you're looking at is the Murph workout 17 times. So,
oh wow.
So the more,
that's where the numbers from.
That's where the numbers come from.
So you're crazy. You're the one that made these numbers.
I made those numbers. So what happened is we got to talk about it more, and it became more of a, well, you're not going to just do it for nothing, for brag. Yeah. I said, tell you what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it in one day, just like they did. I said, I'm going to raise money for autism. I said, my son was asking me about something big, and it connected right away. I said, and I would never put myself in the same category as a Terry Fox. Like Terry Fox is a hero, is a true hero, but the message is the same. He did something very mammoth and heroic to motivate people to get involved. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, get the message across that that this is an everyday thing. It's a very prevalent thing, and I figured a big effort would result in a lot of people wanting to get involved. And so I'm on starting April 1st at 8:00 in the evening.
So you're gonna start on April Fool? Is this an April Fool's joke?
Not not for last year, but starting April 1st, and I will finish up on April 2nd. And April 2nd, this is significant to that.
What time are you starting this?
8 p.m.
Okay.
And we're gonna go through till 8 p.m. on the 2nd, and the 2nd of April is recognized as World Autism Awareness Day, and that's why I'm doing it. And in the
how do people watch?
So we're working on that right now. So there's going to be a YouTube channel opening up. I'm just waiting on the details on that. And when I get that, and I know time is short, but they're just trying to figure out the final details. I believe some news medias like CP24 and potentially City TV may be carrying it as well. So especially we're trying to figure out, obviously, with the pandemic. The idea to start with was, we'll tell you what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the whole workout, and then I'll encourage people to come out and maybe get teams of people, and they can, break down the workout that I'm doing, but in much smaller chunks, and then they can raise money as well. And that's how we were going to raise it. And then with the pandemic, can we have people? Can we not have people? How many people can we have? And I was going to do this anyway. So I'm like, well, how about we just keep it focused on me? I'll do the work. I'm happy to do the work, and we'll get a donation portal going, and then I started creating these shirts. So when my son started talking to me about being a hero, I ran with the idea, and developed this shirt with the Superman logo, and it has all the autism puzzle pieces on the front because he's my Superman. And then I put the workout on the back. And so I've been selling the shirts for the last, God, it's got to be since September.
Okay. How much you raised so far?
So far, total with donations and the shirts we're almost $9,000.
That's amazing.
So the goal is 10. So
I hope you surpass that. I hope you crush the 10.
I want to crush it. I want to crush it.
I hope you crush the 10. We'll push this. We'll push this all around, especially leading up to April 2nd. Because good for you, man. How the hell do you train for this shit, man? 5,100 air squad. Like, what's an air squad? Like just a prisoner squad, basically.
Yeah. So basically, you stand straight up and you bend at the knees until you're in a chair style position. You bend and you stand right back up. It's basically body weight. The only different thing I'm doing different for the purists in the CrossFit world is these guys would do it with a 20-pound weighted vest.
Gotcha.
Well, I don't need a vest. I'm doing thousands and thousands of these. I don't necessarily need a vest. I'm not going after any official record or anything like that. I'm gonna try and surpass these numbers if I can, and I wanted to use it as a foundation. And I actually, in the CrossFit world, they call their workouts a WOD, a WOD.
Okay.
Well, I call this a WAD, which is also World Autism Awareness Day.
Gotcha.
So the work itself is the important part, right? So, what I started doing back in May of last year, I decided the best way to train for it was to do it every day. So every day I would do one to start with. And then through the summer, I did a whole bunch of cross training, but I was doing basically one a day, every day in and day out. The workouts usually would take, in around an hour. They're very, they're very labor intensive. Like it's a full body workout. And then as I got into the fall, I started doing 2 a days and then 3 a days. So I quickly realized, when you're doing something for a long period of time, you're like, how am I going to do this for like 6 hours or 12 hours or 24 hours and keep your body moving? So I reached out to a gentleman by the name of Glenn, he's an ultra marathoner. So I was just trying, because I didn't know, there's no blueprint. There's no blueprint for something like this, right? So the guys that had done it, or the people that had done it in the past were, all Americans that I knew of that had done it for like a marathon style workout. They were unavailable. Certainly nobody in my age category. The oldest gentleman I found that tried to do something like this, he was 59, and he's down in the States as well. No, he's in the UK. He's in the UK. 59. He did 11 rotations of the exercise. So me being in my late 40s, I'm like, okay, so I just kind of tackled it that way. So when I talked to this gentleman, the ultra marathoner who specializes in running, 1 and 200 mile races. Yeah. I told him what I was going to do. Like most people,
Did you say you were crazy?
Yeah. This is a guy that ran 200 miles. He kind of looked at me and cocked his head sideways like, you're not right. And I'm like, you run 200 miles at a stretch. He goes, yeah, but I don't stop every quarter mile and want to do push-ups. He goes, that's stupid.
Yeah.
But he gave me some good insights about, trying to figure out and start doing longer and longer sessions to try and get my body acclimatized to all the issues that were going to come up.
Because it's an endurance thing, right?
Very much an endurance thing. So I figured out early on, if I wanted to hit my target, I have about 80 minutes to do one rotation each time. So if I stayed at that 80 minutes, and I should hit my target.
You hit any injuries along the way trying this?
Yep. Ripped my left bicep right in the crook of the arm in December, which I've been kind of nursing. Just from wear and tear, had some obviously muscle inflammation in my knees and my shoulders. From all the chin ups, my hands started to split apart at times, and that'll probably happen again. And it's been interesting trying to prepare for this, right?
I bet.
I
bet. I'm tired thinking about it.
Well, and it's funny because because I've been doing this for so long now. I think when I told you pretty early on.
You told me in May. I remember
Yeah.
because we were on lockdown. And
Yeah, but it was funny because when I started telling people, and certain people, they heard me and they just kind of shrugged their shoulders like, yeah, whatever, right? But as the months went by and time went by, and I was still doing it, and then I started doing some posts on Facebook and just saying, well, I got it down to this time frame and did this, and then in August or September, I started my first the long session training. So I started did my first 4 hours, 4 hours, figure out how many I could do in 4 hours. And then the next month I did 6 hours, and then 8, then 2 12-hour session, a 12-hour, and then another 12-hour. And then in February, I did a 17-hour one, finished 17 hours. And that was February 28th to March 1st. And that was my last long session. So, talking with Glenn, he's like, you don't necessarily have to get all the way. He says, but you got to get close. You got to get within striking distance to kind of figure out where you're going to be. Right. So, I still, I'll be in the deep waters for about 7 hours, but, I think, like I said, I think I've done what I can to get ready. But like I said, there's no book.
Has your work been behind you in all this?
Yeah, like at my partners that I work with every day, I mean, they're like a family, and they've been right on top of it. My association, who I can't thank enough, they jumped on board in January to help me with the logistics of setting this all up. So, and Kerry's place, like I have a lot of people think I'm doing the work and I've been flogging shirts, but there's a lot of people that I couldn't do this without. My family primarily, like my wife's a superhero. She's been taking extra duty, and it's tough, right? Like when I started doing this, like we were in the middle of this pandemic, and I decided to go take on a boatload of extra work when there's a lot of extra limitations, and I always laugh. I've been hearing people like, oh, I can't work out. I've been got the pandemic 20 or 25 or whatever. And I've been, I've been training in my basement since May. And I literally, from where I walk from my treadmill to my chin-up bar is 12 feet. So I get on the treadmill, I walk down a small hallway to a doorway where I have my chin-up bar. And in the hallway is I have where I do my push-ups, my air squats. So it's like 12 feet.
Yeah, you have everything you need.
I've been cranking it all out. All that effort has been happening in like a hallway, basically. So,
is that where you're going to do the workout challenge?
No, my association, the YRPA, we have a building in Newmarket, and they've graciously opened up the banquet hall area to us, or to me, and so they've opened it all up. And it has all these big windows, and it backs onto a nice patio. And if the weather's good, whether it's not or not, people can stop by and take a look in and see what's going on for the entire 24 hours. I'll have a very small sport crew, as long as things stay what they are right now. Hopefully. And but yeah, it's they've been great. Like I said, there's been so many people that have jumped on board, and I can't even. The list would be endless, right? Like, I mean...
Faisal, even Dr. Faisal's helping you out, I heard.
He's been amazing.
Yeah.
Like, right away, like I said, he jumped on and said, whatever you need. He put me through a whole battery of tests to make sure that, that bad things weren't going to happen.
Yeah.
So there's obviously, there's always health concerns. I've tried to do my research on something like this, but so some of the things that I've discovered, I mean, anybody could potentially have a heart attack, right? I mean, if you're stressing your body out long enough.
Yeah, but you seem like a pretty clean eating guy.
Try to. Like, I mean, I like my pizza like everybody else.
Yeah.
But it's.
But you've always been in good shape, like you.
Well, for the most part, like I try to as much as I can. It's not as easy some days, right? You want to, it's been hard to push things away, right? But I think what I think that's the one thing that the crazy world has kind of put in my favor is that I've been did a lot more home cooking and things of that nature, so I can control those things. Faisal jumped on and helped me out to try and organize it. I reached out to some of the people that we know in the fight world, and they lend in some commentary and some helpful hints, right? Like I said, there's been no blueprint for this, so I'm just, like I said, trying to figuring it out as I go along, trying to do the fixes. The only other major health concern, and my wife hates it when I do talk about it, is there's a condition called rhabdomyosin. So basically, rhabdomyosin is when you do enough work that your muscles start to leak sugar or glycogen, and that sugar has to be processed by your kidneys. Well, if there's too much of it, the kidneys shut down, and it can happen up to 3 days after your event.
Oh wow!
So your body, your body.
Is Pfizer going to help monitor that? Or?
Yeah. So I think with it being live streamed, he said he would be checking in on me, and there's gonna be a medic on scene just to make sure that, they'll be checking me and make sure.
I hope you crush it, man.
Brother, that's all I want to do.
Yeah, I hope you crush it.
I don't know if are you a fan of, or do you know who I talked to you about, David Goggins?
Yeah.
Right, so you had a chance to read any of his stuff?
Yeah. I told you I have an audio book.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Crazy guy, right?
Crazy, super crazy.
Have you got to the part where he's done the chin-ups yet?
No.
Okay, so that's where actually I figured out about rhabdomyosin, because in that, when he went for his chin-up record of 4,000 chin-ups, he suffered rhabdo twice, and he realized it, where basically your muscles start shutting down and they become very swollen, starting of like kidney failure, stuff like that, right? So it's funny because at home I got this gigantic whiteboard of all the things, like things I've been planning and things that happened, and trying to keep a diary and a log, and okay, this happened this at this time and this happened this time. Really trying to be methodical about it, right? Okay, so hour 3 this happened, hour 5 this happened, hour 9. I'm trying to figure out nutrition, because that's the other thing they're talking about. You gotta feed your body, because you're going for 24 hours. You gotta keep going. You can't cramp up. Like I said, things like your hands splitting open. How are you gonna do chin-ups when your hands start to split open? What happens when your knees buckle? And any of this or all this could stop
just keep going.
Well,
you just keep going.
Well, you
have that monster in the back of your head that just goes, just fucking keep going.
Until something breaks off.
Yeah, just keep going. Till the wheels fall off. That's what this should say on the shirt. Till the wheels fall off.
Well, that might happen. But no, it's been good, right? It's been a good experience, and And the message I hope that comes from it is that some of these people that I'm trying to do some good things for, is that they understand that no matter what's in front of you, right, you can do it if you're dedicated enough to it, right? Like there's really truly nothing special about me. I'm just dedicated to my purpose.
You're a great dad, bro. That's what's special about you.
Well,
look at it that way. You're a superhero.
I'm a good dad. I'm trying to do something great for.
Oh, you're leading
people.
by example. That's cool.
And I appreciate that. Like, we're just trying, right? We're trying. We're going to put our best foot forward, and everything will be left on the table, and we're trying to hit it out of the park, right? Like, it's. Like I said, it's been a lot. It's been
I'm excited for you. Okay, so April 1st at 8 p.m. We'll tune in. We'll post the links. We'll get the links out for you. And everybody will share it. I'll hound everybody to do the same thing, so we can tune in to watch you do this crazy madness.
Yep.
How can people support it?
So
what's the best? How can we? So I grabbed a couple shirts from you today.
So I have shirts still,
and they're a great shirt, by the way. Like very comfy, very soft. It's a $25 shirt. No, listen, we're gonna hustle these out.
Yeah, so we get
because all this is going towards this. So this is super important.
So the adult shirts go for $25. I have kids shirts. They go for $20.
Did you bring kids shirts with you?
It's the only thing I didn't bring tonight. I
would have grabbed one for my daughter. I'll grab one anyways and just send it to me.
No worries.
Yeah.
And then we have. So we have an online donation portal, and I can even tell you where we are right now. We are at $7,855.60.
Beautiful.
And I got some more money to add to that. So, but if somebody is looking to donate, they can go to the online link. And this is gonna sound long, but we'll put it so it's
We can get it and we can post
yeah,
it, right?
the Murph-
with everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Murph Challenge fundraiser.fundraise.org. We'll get you there, and
Okay.
then you can donate. They'll take some.
Are you taking live pledges and stuff like that during?
Well, that's what the online portal will be for, right? I'm hoping that's what it
Okay.
turns into. That it
Okay.
turn into kind of a ticker because it shows who donates and
We used it last year for the charity event we did a concert.
yeah.
And we had with a live ticker, so people were calling in as the concert was happening. So it's kind of the same process. If you need help with that stuff, let me know because I have a team of people that can get that set for you, so that it's like, as long as you got good internet, we can have it sort of running. So it's got a ticker. So
I think we should, but we're gonna have a.
But let me know
countdown
if you get stuck.
Yeah.
Like
do
sooner the
that.
better. Let me know if you get stuck because we did it last year and we're doing it again this year for our charity event back in October, September. So, but we'll talk about that later. But Adam McEachern, you're the man. If you for coming in. I appreciate it. So everybody, if you can, we'll post the links with the website, with the site, with everything. And we'll try to push this as hard as we can for you. And I hope you fucking crush it. And I'm going to tune in and I'll cheer you on. And I'll be like, don't quit. Keep going. Don't stop.
I got people saying that they're gonna show up with donuts and lawn chairs and like sit outside and cheer me on that.
I'm here to watch this guy die. All the people that you pissed off are like, look at him be suffering.
Hey man, if you want to pay to play, that's fine. That's cool. But yeah, man, I hope to surpass that, and
I think you will.
I
have a funny feeling that you will.
I've been doing everything.
I think you're like, I know this pace you're gonna blow it away, and I hope you do. I hope you crush it, bro.
Appreciate it.
Good for you, bro. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my guest, Adam McEachern.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you. Want to give a shout out to Devolution Productions. Devolution Productions is the production company I use to produce my podcast and to do a lot of my fight-related stuff. The absolute best production company I've had the opportunity to work with. And if you're looking to get any work done or any kind of videos or anything professional, Devolution Productions is the company to contact. To get a hold of them, just inbox me, shoot me a message, text me, call me, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere, any of those handles, and I'll connect you in a heartbeat. Devolution Productions is, bar none, the best production company in Canada.